Hey everyone, it's Casey Nicole, and today we're going to go through a stretch and release practice where the emphasis is going to be on releasing into our lower backs. Now, when we're focused on lower backs, what pops up into my head is opening up across the front of the hips, getting some release or decompression into the lower spine, and then also working on twists and side body lengthening to help create more and more space into that lower region of our torso and conjoining into our hips. Okay, so we're going to break it down into three postures. That's all we're going to do is three postures, but we're going to do one side and then the other side and start to bring in a little bit more of that harmonious balance so that we can fully release and let go into those low backs. It tends to be an area that a lot of people are tight in, so hopefully just this brief practice will help to open things up for you. I would recommend having a block for practice, especially as we move into a supported bridge shape. You're going to want something to help elevate your hips. If you're ever in the Modesto, California area, I highly recommend you check out the beautiful Elevate Community Yoga Studio space. That's where I'm filming today. That's where I've been filming most of my videos recently, and I'm very grateful to be in this space. So with that being said, have your block handy, and we're going to get started off on our backs. So grab that block, take it with you, and let's come down into a nice reclined position. And that's one thing I forgot to mention. Everything that we're going to do today, we're going to do from our backs. So it's going to be nice, relaxing practice. Hence the reason I call it stretch or opening and releasing. Okay. We're relaxing and letting ourselves go. So as you come down onto your back, bend the knees, walk the feet in towards the hips. Now, as you lift your hips off the ground, depending on how high your hips go, you're going to fill the space between your sacrum and the floor. So find that appropriate height for your block. It comes in 3 different settings. And then just bring it right underneath your sacrum. Okay, it's the flat surface on the back of your pelvis. It's above your glutes, but below the curvature of your low back. So once you find that, it should feel like a little shelf that you can just rest onto. And then you're just going to soften into this shape. Feel your lower back start to decompress. So normally when we're in an upright position, whether we're seated or standing, walking around, we feel the gravitational pull from our head down to our hips and from our hips down to our feet. So for now, you get to feel the opposite of gravity kind of sinking from the hips down the spine to the floor. So you're letting that lower back just really release and soften here. We're going to give ourselves a few breaths right here as we are, and then I'll add on some of that front of the hip opening. Okay, this is my favorite way to target into the front of the hips. Tight hip flexors, this is the way to go here, okay? So let's establish the breath. Exhale, let everything out so you're fully emptied in your lungs. And then through the nose, fill up into your belly as you breathe in. Fill up into your ribs, into your chest. Fill your sides, fill your back. Holding it at the top. And on this first one, just go ahead and open up your mouth and let it out. Again, slow inhale through the nose. Fill up from the bottom to the top and all the way around. This time, when you reach the top of the breath, quick little pause. And then keep the breath through the nose. Exhale, empty out your chest, empty out your ribs, and then all the way out through the belly and low back. Go ahead and take one more of those on your own. Feel your own internal rhythm. Try to stretch everything open and be very mindful as you release the breath back out, not letting it go too fast. Mindful breath. And then just relax a little bit of effort over your breathing. Let it become a little more natural, easy in and out of your nose. And then from here, wiggle a little bit in your fingers and toes. Just feel life back in your physical body. And then let's pull the right knee up into the chest. Hands, cup it in, maybe around the knee, around the thigh or shin. And as you cup it into the chest, hold it here as you walk your left leg out in front of you. You can either staple your left heel to the ground and just pull your right knee into chest to get that deeper stretch across the front of the hip. Or maybe naturally it just floats off the ground. And then you allow gravity to just weigh over the top of that left hip, feeling that nice stretch into your hip flexors and deep into your psoas, those deep core muscles. Give yourself about 3 or 4 slow breaths, holding this shape. Try to release any excess tension from your face, from your upper body. Use only what you need to. One more breath here. And then gently release both feet down to the ground. Walk the feet in. Maybe rock the knees a little bit here. Soften through the hips. And then when you're ready, the left knee will hug into the chest. Cup your hands around the knee, shin, or thigh. And as you pull it in, right leg starts to walk long in front of you, either stapling heel to the ground and pulling away from it, or allowing it to catch that natural little float where it just hangs in space. Release your effort. Find the edge, and then find the balance to embrace a little bit of that softness and that ease. It's not about forcing. It's about feeling balance between that effort and relaxation. Let's just take a couple more breaths here. Now, I really like to open up the hip flexors when I'm thinking about opening up into my lower back, especially if we spend a lot of time sitting. We shorten those hip flexors, which pulls tighter and forces a lot of rounding into the lower back, which can create a lot of tension. Okay. So if you do have a lot of lower back tension, I would highly recommend this sequence of movements on a regular basis, or pick what feels the best for you and just do it consistently. It makes a world of difference. Okay, let's go ahead and gently release both feet down to the ground. Walk the feet in. Feel free to rock the knees a little bit. Now, if you are doing your own practice, you could hold these as long as you'd like, okay? This might be a little bit quicker than what you want to move at, and it's more just to kind of get things open and released, but you can always kind of remember these postures and make them your own. So when you're ready, hips lift up, remove the block out of your way. I'm going to set it overhead because I don't want it in my way once we start moving side to side. And then let the spine and hips roll back down to the ground. Sway the knees left, sway them right. Loosen up that low back, loosen up the hips, and then hug the knees into your chest. Give them a nice little squeeze. Maybe continue swaying a little bit here. Okay. We're going to start off with a nice little lengthening through the side body. So let's go ahead and set the feet down to the ground. Open up your feet the width of the mat with the knees bent, okay? Nice and wide with your feet. And then open up your arms either to a T, straight out from the shoulders, or you can take a little bend into the elbows, that's fine. Just enough to kind of open up our arms. And then let your knees, I'm going to start with the left side just for visibility purposes for you so you can see what I'm doing here. So let your knees drop to the left side to start. And as they drop to the left, you're going to notice that your legs are in a staggered position, okay? This one is still technically a little bit of a twist. It's just not a really deep twist because we're not taking that top leg all the way over. So what you're going to feel, or hopefully, is you're going to feel a nice lifting and opening into your lower back on that right side because you're getting internal rotation on that top hip. So if this is good, stay. You can also bring blocks underneath the knees if they feel a little cranky. If you want to deepen it, take that bottom foot, your left foot, and rest it on top of your right knee or thigh, and then use it as an added weight to emphasize that internal rotation, which actually lifts more space into that lower right side of your back. And then from here, just let yourself relax and let gravity do the work for you. You don't have to exude all this effort and force. You get to just surrender and feel. So give yourself about 3 or 4 more slow, deepened breaths. In and out of the nose. Notice if the mind is wandering. Try to bring its attention back to your breath and back into the sensation of your body. Less external and more internal. Now, if your foot is resting on top, just go ahead and slide it back down to the ground. Now you're going to take your right hand up towards the ceiling. And as you reach it up, you're going to start to reach it all the way over to the left as you rock up onto your left shoulder. And then let your right fingertips come down to the ground in front of you. Now from here, you're going to walk the right fingertips away from you, maybe directly in front, maybe slightly overhead. Play with the angle. Any angle is fine. But as you walk the fingers away, you're rolling your chest towards the ground. And then once you find that, hold it. Now take your top leg and try to kick out through the top leg. The knee can be bent. The leg can straighten. I want you to feel it out for yourself and play with the angles as though you're trying to get a stretch all the way from your fingertips down to those toes, stretching them away from one another, getting length through the entire side. Chest is rolling down, hips are rolling open. Give yourself about 3 more deep breaths here. And then when you're ready, you're going to walk the hand and the foot back in until you can gently roll onto your backs again. Knees swivel back up to center. And then we're going to go directly into the other side. So arms open out, separate the feet about the width of the mat. Knees are bent, and then let the knees swivel over to the right side. Now, same thing. If you want block support, add some blocks underneath the knees. If you want to deepen it, maybe right foot to the top of the left knee or thigh, and then just let it sink in. Or you can just stay with your legs staggered and tilted over to the side. That's perfectly fine as well. Remember, any variation of the pose is the pose. Now, as you settle in here, now you're going to feel that emphasis into your lower left side of your back. Just let it melt open. Relax into gravity. And just feel the space that you're creating. Take about 3 more deep breaths. Now, if the foot is resting on top, let's slide it back down. Left hand reaches up this time towards the ceiling. And then reach it all the way over to the right side as you rock up onto your right shoulder, and then rainbow the fingers down to the ground in front of you. Start to walk your left fingertips away as the chest rolls down to the ground. Play with the angle. And then once you have that, you can extend out through the top leg, kick it straight, bend it, reach it behind you, hips are opening, whatever feels best. And then feel the stretch all the way from fingertips to toes. Use only what you need here. Give yourself a few deepened breaths. Now let's slowly walk the hand and the foot back in until you can roll onto your backs again. Knees swivel back to center. Feel free to rock the knees or hug the knees into your chest, whatever your preference. Maybe little sways here. Okay. Now keep the right knee hugged in. Stretch your left leg long out on the ground. On your inhale, hold on to the knee with your left hand, right arm falls to the side. And on your exhale, twist, pull the knee over the body to the left and down. Keep your right shoulder blade on the floor. Back off if needed until the right shoulder blade comes back down to the ground, if it becomes disconnected. Maybe the head rolls over to the right side or stays neutral, whatever your preference. And then just give yourself a few breaths to gently wring out the spine. If you feel you need to scooch your hips a little bit or reposition, find the shape that feels best, where you can wring out last bits of tension that may have accumulated in your spine. Another breath or two. Head rolls back up to center. Let's lift the knee back up to center. And then switch legs. Right leg goes long. Left knee hugs in. On your inhale, hold the knee with your right hand, left arm to the side. And on your exhale, twist. Pull the knee over to the right and down. Keep the left shoulder blade grounded. Maybe the head rolls over to the left side this time. And give yourself a few of those deep breaths, wringing out on the exhalations. Once again, if you feel you need to scooch or create any little micro adjustments, accommodate your body however it needs. Head rolls back up to center. Lift the knee back into center. Hug both knees in. Hips nice and squared with the rest of the body. Sway side to side. And then roll yourself to either side, fetal position. Use your top hand to gently press yourself up. Once you're up, cross the legs any way that feels good for you. Spine up nice and tall. Hands together at your heart. Take a moment to close your eyes. Now, if you have other things that you want to practice, go ahead and hit pause and add in whatever you would like. Otherwise, we're going to close out the practice together. Exhale, let everything out. Through the nose, take a deep breath in as you fill up into your belly, up into your ribs, and then all the way up into your chest and upper back. Hold it. See if you can grow a little taller through the spine, breathing in a little more. And then just open up your mouth and let everything out. Relax your breath in and out of your nose. Thank your body for all that it does for you every single day. And thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through this practice. Go ahead and open up your eyes whenever you're ready. So like mentioned, lower back is probably my most commonly requested theme for classes. And there's so many different ways that we can target into that space. We can target it in more active ways. We can target it in more soft approaches through stretching and releasing. There's so many different components that contribute to not only opening up our lower backs, but also stabilizing and strengthening into our lower backs. So today was about that passive release, being able to fully let go and unwind. Now, you could hold these for longer periods of time. I personally love to hold these for as long as my body wants, right? If I'm in that shape, I just listen to my body, follow my breath, and hold there. Sometimes I'm there for 3 to 5 or plus minutes. You don't have to do that. You can keep it short and sweet, just like this video, or add on to tailor it and fit your needs. Bring this into an active part of your routine if that helps kind of open up and release into your lower back. I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments, share with a friend you think might enjoy. And once again, if you're ever in the Modesto, California area, be sure to check out Elevate Community Yoga Studio Space. Thank you again so much. Looking forward to the next time.